this, it was like, yo, Will, Kenny, Swerve. Like, it was just like Hangman at the beginning of the show. It was like, we have the niggas. Like, Arby says, we have the meats. Like, we have these niggas here.
What's wrong with you, man?
We've got the best niggas here, bro.
Oh boy.
And then these niggas decide to come out for the main event. Oh my god. This main event.
All right, hold on, before we get here. Let's go match by match real quick. Do you have a star rating for the Adam Page and MJF?
4.5.
That's about where I would put it. I have to watch it, but that sounds about right. The Mercedes and Momo match.
I'd probably go 4.
Same. All right. Swerve and Ricochet. I got 4.5 on that.
I'd probably go 4 3/4 on that.
Okay. The next match would have been what, the Outrunners match?
No, Okada and Brody King. I'm going 3.75.
3.75, yeah. Then you get to the tag match.
Yeah, tag match.
All right, skip that. The
women's match.
The Hollywood ending, the Hollywood match, right? Hollywood barbed wire, whatever, death match, whatever. I probably 4 3. I probably go 4.5, 4 3/4.
Same. I'm 4.6 probably on that.
Right, and then the next 2 matches, I'm giving 5 stars to both of them. I know you go over 5 stars. I don't.
Yeah.
So that's where we are. Now, just to recap you how awesome this show was. Now let's get
Yeah, man. And then we get these niggas that walk out for the main event. This match has a 3.22 on Cage Match right now, right? Jon Moxley.
That's what on Cage Match?
A 3.22 on 255 votes, James.
Oof.
So, Jon Moxley and Cope come out here, and they clearly did not collaborate on the gear because, like, Moxley's wearing this green
olive color joint.
Yeah. And Cope, I thought he was trying to do some type of Laker thing, maybe. I couldn't really tell, whatever. But forgive Rich. He's partially colorblind. He's navy and like the like neon green, so it's like Seahawks colors. Gotcha. So like the first thing is like they try to sing like Copeland's song, but like the crowd is really checked out of it after the first chorus. But then some reason they keep continuing, but like they don't recognize all the words.
They don't know the lyrics.
They don't know the words.
Yep.
Like like that. There was clearly like a buzz, like like
it was basically like, hey, we saw Grand Slam Australia, so and they sang the whole song, so we got to sing the whole song. But like they actually know the words.
Y'all ain't got to do that. You're not required to do this. So
right,
Moxley and Copeland start, and they just start exchanging shitty forearms with each other, and then like the crowd
shitty. I thought they were good.
Excuse me, I forgot something. They rang the bell, right? And then like everyone just stared. This was a reverse bell pop, James. Like I've never seen no shit like this. Like it was just like ding ding ding, and then it was just like, all right. Then they start. They have no idea how to work this match, and it's the wrong match for the wrong crowd with the wrong people in it because y'all shouldn't have been here. The guys that should have been main eventing this show, the guys that should have been main eventing this show, or the women that should have been main in this show, they already came out. They already worked the contemporary match for the modern audience right here.
Right.
This shit here was like, I think it was a tone deaf match. It was a match for a crowd that I feel like far advanced passes. They were bored. I thought the work itself was just like pedestrian at best, but it was just the wrong place, the wrong time, the wrong energy for this whole thing. And it was like everybody knew Cope shouldn't have been out there at that point, bro. Like when they're trying to pretend him, jumping off the ropes, to the bottom where, floor part was with a damn near a double axe handle was supposed to be some like devastating move. When I just saw Ospreay and Fletcher doing a Spanish fly out there, it's just not going to hit the same. Moxley, add another stinker to the resume here, buddy. Like I think Jon Moxley is going to when I messaged you last night, I was talking about him too. Between all these shitty matches and these shitty performances and the shitty angle and title run, he's going to lose Hall of Fame support over this, and it's his fault too. Like, this is bad.
Yeah. Yeah, man, this was not the match. This shouldn't. I don't know who was back there that didn't like tell them, "Yo, this ain't it. This Moxie reign is stunk. We have not had a cohesive through line for this whole entire reign that was set up at the beginning to be this one thing, then it's trying to be something else. We have not moved off, or we haven't moved off it to something else more compelling. We have a slew of matches that our fans care about infinitely more, with better workers, and this match or this show was a perfect example of like, yo, they had a tough task if you're going to main event them anyway, and then like all the matches that should have had the main event honors in front of them, because there were multiple matches, right? The Tony and Mariah, the Swerve and Ricochet, the Osprey and Fletcher, the Takeshita and Omega. All the matches should have main event over this, and all the matches either met or exceed. Oh, I'm sorry, MJF and Adam Page as well.
Yep.
All those matches either met expectation or exceeded them. And the expectations for those matches were all much higher than Jon Moxley versus Adam Copeland in 2025. So they were fucked. That's why I pointed out, like, when I tweeted out, like, those two are fucked, it was before they even got to the cage match between Fletcher and Osprey. And then they went out there and had the best match of that night. It was like, oh, you guys are done. You have no shot. And then they went out there and, you know, it was like a typical Edge match post since he came back in 2020, Edge Copeland, where he's like, you have a match, but, like, the main things to set off the match, get the crowd to care about is, like, smoke and mirrors, right? So it's like, all right, you got Yuta in here, you get Jay White in here. Jay White accidentally hits Copeland. Was that on purpose? Was it unintentional? Whatever else, we don't know. Yuta pulls out Jay White. There's a near fall. Ref gets pulled. Here's Christian to cash in. It turns to a three-way match. Like, bro, this
wasn't
was like,
it Wheeler Yuta? Didn't we just get Wheeler Yuta return out of nowhere with no hesitation for nothing? Like, you know, he just interferes, doesn't even think twice that he shook Copeland's hand or whatever. He just walks out. And when I see Wheeler Yuta walk out, I'm already done with Wheeler Yuta. I want to fire him into the sun anyway, because I don't care about Wheeler Yuta. This is not a star. This is just a guy or whatever. Like, yeah. And I am quite frankly beginning to resent this, that they have spent 3 years on this fucking guy.
Well, the main thing they've done with him is the same thing they did with Garcia, except the problem is, like, the thing that made them interesting was, like, who was going to basically be the successor to Danielson, and then ultimately they're trying to be neither. Trying to be neither, which is right. It's trying to be neither, which is like, okay, so those two had something interesting when they were wrestling each other in ROH. Now they have nothing, either one of them right now. So yeah, but whatever.
Christian, back to Christian coming out with the with the contract.
Christian then cashes in his Money in the Bank contract, which guarantees him a title shot versus at any point, any time, for the full year. And then, like, the match, the crowd wakes up, they're interested or whatever else, and it's like, oh, this is smoke and mirror. The smoke and mirror stuff start happening, and then Christian comes out, and the crowd interested. I was like, and then Christian ends up spearing Copeland, and then he goes for the pin, and then Moxley takes him off of him with the bully choke, and then he's fading. He doesn't want to tap out. He gets an arm on Copeland for the pin while Copeland's still down. And then Moxley pulls him off, and then he chokes him out. He makes him tap out or pass out. Can't remember which one. And it's like, that's the end of it. It's like, oh, so this is what it would have been like if, like, WrestleMania 31 made it between Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, and Seth Rollins absolutely sucked. That's what this would have been like. Bro. It's like, oh, we're gonna have a crummy match, and then someone's gonna cash in, turn the three-way, and it's gonna end on a crummy note. They learned all the wrong lessons from that match.
Never.
And that's what this match was.
Have
basically.
I ever seen legendary levels of not wanting the job like Adam Copeland here in this thing? This Christian contract was not a contract for him to cash this shit in. This was not like something that, you know, he was going to be the champion or anything. They had this man carry this shit around months in advance to ultimately make sure Adam Copeland did not have to do a job. Now, maybe he has that mentality of like, I need to keep myself strong until the very end. Whoever I want to put over at the end, they will get whatever. I'm here to tell you, I don't think it matters anymore.
The end of what?
His career or whatever. Because
it's over now. It's too late. No one cares.
It's over now. Like, that's out the window.
Him and Christian need to go out here and have one last match versus the Young Bucks at All In Texas and move the fuck on.
I have no use.
They both need to be sent off on that show.
I have no Christian. I don't have as much for Christian, but Copeland, I have no use for Adam Copeland in this promotion anymore. None. Like,
that's my point. The only way you can get him, Rich, what I'm saying is the only way you can get him out of here is if you give him some send off, and you don't want to give him a send off in a singles match. No one gives a fuck. So the only way you can send him off is with Edge and Christian. And what do you do? Send him to the Young Bucks. Let the Young Bucks go out there and carry him to four and a half star matches and send him on.
This is like, I've never seen no shit like this.
Christian, but I'm sorry, you got to take Christian or Edge with you. Sorry,
I normally despise fake jobs. I hate fake jobs even more when people do them that do not deserve them or whatever. So, like, Adam Copeland has never moved a metric, a number, has never meant anything, really. This man has stole 5 years, because this goes back to WWE too. Stole 5 years on the back end, and good for him or whatever, because his career ended prematurely and he was able to cash in and rake it in. Like, this man did not come to this promotion cheap. This man did not go back to WWE cheap at that time. So, like, I called it in 2022. I said, that man's a bad contract or whatever. Like, this was like baseball or something. Like, this is like Albert Pujols at 39 years old or something like that. Like, this is a bad deal. Like, but he came here and got like this program, which we roundly detested in the build up, the idea of it, how it was introduced. It made me think of World's End when Kenny Omega had to come back from before him or whatever. And then I was like, I feel no sympathy for like Copeland, whoever like put this together or whatever. No, like, this thing is sucked. This match sucked. The idea of it sucked. Christian carrying around the job for months and months and months sucks. Like, and I guess we should quote unquote be happy because the briefcase stipulation is no longer. But that's a mirage. That's similar to Cody Rhodes taking himself from the main event. If you're not in the main event, you don't have to wrestle anybody. It's the same shit. Like, this is carny bullshit that I think has infected this promotion. And it, quite frankly, it peaked with that 12-man tag announcement that everyone went up in arms for a couple months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the rest of this show from there said, essentially, fuck this. Like, we are going to, and the rest of the show proved it on this night, we are going to show what this company should be and who it should be led by. These old guys like Adam Copeland and even Jon Moxley at this point can really get the fuck on. Like, honestly, like, let Mox reunite the Shield. # I'm done with it. He's wrestling Swerve Strickland next month. Moxley sneaks out the back door, walking through the crowd with the title. Prince Nana meets him. They kind of square off. Swerve swan dives on him from the top of the
security assembles, whatever else, to make sure that like Jon Moxley doesn't massacre Prince Nana, which ultimately was like, oh, why are there so many people? That means Swerve must be coming out. And I was like, oh, he's on the guardrail. And he's like, oh, guardrail, catch a vibe, Swerve stomp.
Yeah. So
now the only thing I would have liked to add to this, what they did to close the show that way, would have been if Swerve had grabbed the title, had grabbed the briefcase, opened the briefcase, and showed the title. That I understand the whole point is it being in briefcases to be the pop for when someone like gets, finally beats him. I'm sorry, I'm not waiting any longer for Darby Allin to be the person to open up the fucking briefcase.
It needs to be now.
Swerve, and it should have been last night. Fuck getting into Dynasty. It should have happened last night. I was in the middle of the match, the main event. I was like, Swerve needs to be the champion. That was like 11. It was like 11:50. He needs to be the champion before the pay-per-view time closes or whatever else. That time window closes. Get it before midnight. That's how disastrous. That's how like what do you call it? Crystallizing this show was to, and then the main event was like, yo, this shit here in this main event is like a totally different promotion from what we just saw the last like 3.5 hours. Get it out of here. Like, I love Jon Moxley. He's one of my favorite wrestling acts of the last half decade of pro wrestling. This has not worked. This has been utter disaster. I don't know what needs to fix it to modulate it. At this point, I do not care. Get it away from the top of the promotion. Get it away from the title scene. Get it away from the main event. Move it or get rid of it.
Be very loud. If you wish Swerve Strickland to beat Jon Moxley, I would advise you guys to raise hell. They listen, and quite frankly, like, Jon Moxley should be coming off this belt to Swerve Strickland. Like, it's like there's no argument that says otherwise. I don't.
Is this the worst title? Is this the worst title reign in AEW history?
Yes. Remove the CM Punk day.
That includes MJF.
Yes.
That includes CM Punk and VO. Both VOs.
The VOs, I feel like we need to throw those to the side or whatever. Those were destructive to the belt, but ultimately there's not enough to really evaluate. Do you think I'm going to write a Jon Moxley title eulogy for this shit? Hell no. Like this shit's not inspiring me to write anything about this except how it needs to get the fuck on.
It should, so you it should, so you can absolutely put it buried underneath the Earth's mantle.
Like, I can't I don't even want to say I can't believe it, because I saw it coming. Like, the whole Danielson thing is connected to this long play thing, right? Like, I don't see the point in saving anything at this point. I'm so disappointed in not only this match, like this title reign, like the Copeland thing. It was like, did they have no one else to basically, like, they couldn't even have Copeland's job. They made Christian come in and do the fall. So it was like, all right, man, you two can get the fuck out of here. Like, I don't, it's so, like, this was so bad. The crowd was staring at this. They were quiet in the building. It was awkward. Like
golf claps.
It was just like, yeah, dog, like, this ain't it. Like, in so many words, there's no way they walked back in there like, we got him. There's no way that happened.
John from Okase said something along the lines of, like, this feels like, forget the part where, like, there are 10,000 people in the building. This feels like the reaction you get in Shinkiba first ring. And I added to it, was like, no, this is like the feeling you get in Shinkiba first ring in the winter when there's no central air in the building and everyone's bundled the fuck up.
Yeah. This is bad, man. Like, this is really bad. This is one of the worst main events in the history of the company. Arguably the worst. Like, the MJF and Jay White one, we know that one was really bad, but at least they did some shit in that match. This one,
the crowd actually cared about that match.
Like, and then MJF versus Adam Cole, they at least did some cool shit.
Adam Cole and MJF wrestled circles around Moxley and in Copeland in that match.
Yeah, man. This was so bad. This was like, the crowd then popped for Swerve. They went home happy because Swerve's the most overman in the building. So of course they did. So, like,
ain't got nothing to do with the match sucking.
Yeah, like they knew. They knew. That's why they set this shit up. Like, or whatever. They knew some bullshit was set to occur. So, like, I don't know, man. They wasted all these weeks on this, all this storytelling or whatever, to not deliver really on Copeland losing.
So that was
beating
3 months.
him.
That was 3 months, right?
Yep.
When Rose in, 3 months.
A total waste of time. An absolute waste of time. And I don't know who needs to hear this, but there needs to be some apologies given out. I'm not going to say who they need to be given to, but I'm not the only one that saw this shit in advance, and I think he should get an apology.
Yeah. Like, hey man, Jon Moxley just is not. Jon Moxley, Dean Ambrose just is not a good heel at all. He's just a terrible heel, and he needs to go away, come back, say, you know what, bro, I was tripping. My bad, y'all. I'll be back to like trying to get y'all, approval and whatever else, and be back to being like the babyface. Because babyface Jon Moxley, we didn't have these problems. This is a fucking problem. This is a genuine problem for this promotion. Like he has done too much for this company. It's been too important for this company for him to be out here laying eggs like this. Either he needs to change, either it needs to be optimized, or it needs to be sent packing elsewhere. One of the two. I don't care what.
Swerve,
I don't care one way or the other.
Like
I'd love for it to be optimized, but if it can't be handled that way, if he sees fit, he wants to do some other shit. Do some other shit elsewhere.
The thought of him beating Swerve feels like it's a revolt point for this company. Like I think people will go fucking crazy. In similar way that they did with that 12-man tag announcement, this will be 5 times as worse as that if Moxley beats Swerve. This cannot happen. This is a flashpoint.
There is no. You want to know why? Because if he were to, if Jon Moxley were to beat Swerve at Dynasty, people in their minds are going to be like, "Oh my god, you're going to, after this year, this shitty year he's had, you're going to put him in the main event of All In Texas? Are you out of your fucking mind?"
They've still got Double or Nothing, but I mean, it's right around the corner.
But there's no way they're going to make a new there's no way they're going to change the belt there and then be able to sell a match at Texas.
Yeah,
it has to be done now, or not now, but by Dynasty. If you're gonna do a title change, you need to do it now, and to make sure Jon Moxley is not in the main event of All In Texas in this particular shape he's in right now. It's bad. Like, and the weird part about it is he's in great physical shape. So I don't know what the fuck's going on. It's just the matches aren't matching, and the act stinks.
Yeah, this is so bad. Yeah, strap up Swerve. That's the answer here, and then figure the rest out. You got tons of opponents for that guy, I would imagine, and he can build a program with all of them. So this is real simple to me. So
yeah, but yeah, I mean, that's the only real major point of negativity on this show. Otherwise, this was a great show.